Hi everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and today let's once again touch upon the important issues that made news with regard to your topics in the TSPSC Group 1 mains examination. Today we'll look at social issues, which is a part of the paper 3, and you have important topics like your poverty, unemployment, child labor, violence against women, regionalism, communalism, secularism, corruption, caste politics, problem of agriculture labor, urbanization, development and replacement, environmental degradation, sustainable development, population explosion, agrarian distress and migration. Let's touch upon the topic of poverty, because recently the Niti Aayog had released the National Multidimensional Poverty Index and there was highlights about that. Also, we are entering into the Amrit Kal. So recently 2023 was the first year of the Amrit Kal period, that is 25 years to achieve 100 years of independence, and during this period Government of India wants to achieve a lot of milestones, especially with regard to reducing poverty in the country, one of the major social issues. And we have some good news coming up from the National Multidimensional Poverty Index of the Niti Aayog. Apart from that, Government of India has taken a slew of measures, many by the states as well, to ensure inclusive development, or Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Telangana government is taking a series of steps to reduce poverty in the state. Let's look at some of the major issues that made news and what are the important points that will help you to write good answers. And apart from that, social issues is one of the main topic, actually one of the major topics that is always touched upon in every examination with regard to your essay. So if you really have some good points which you can write down in them, nothing like making a good essay, and also if you structure it well, this will definitely help you not only in your answer writing with regard to paper 3, but also will help you in your essay as well. So poverty is primarily measured in the terms of lack of monetary means for a decent living. However, by definition, poverty has a wider implication and leads to multiple disadvantages at the same time, such as poor health or malnutrition, lack of sanitation, clean drinking water, access to electricity, poor quality of education or lack of education, dropping out of school. Therefore, poverty is multidimensional, and multidimensional poverty measures are always adopted by the governments to create a comprehensive picture to deal with poverty and to do away with poverty also. Now recently the 2022 saw the United Nations Development Programme releasing the Multidimensional Poverty Index, which was released in October 2022. It covers 111 developing countries. Now, as regards India, the survey data of 2019 and 21, that is the recent data, has been used. And based on this estimate, 16.4% of the population in India, that is 228 million people, is multidimensionally poor in the country. And additionally, it says that 18.7% is classified as vulnerable to multidimensional poverty, that is 260.9 million people. Now, the findings of the report suggest that 41.5 crore people exited poverty between 2005 and 2019, which clearly demonstrates that India is on its path to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal of 1.2, which deals with reducing multidimensional poverty by at least half. And it says reducing half of the population, that is proportion of men, women and children of all ages living in poverty in all dimensions accordingly by 2030. Now, Sustainable Development Goal target of 1.2, as I told you, speaks of reducing multidimensional poverty by half, and India, with a recent report, says that it's going to achieve this goal much before the stipulated time of 2030. That is, we are already in 2023 and can achieve more until 2030. Now, recently the Niti Aayog's Multidimensional Poverty Index was released, and it says that between 2015 and 2019, the MPI, or the Multidimensional Poverty Index value, has halved from 0.117 to 0.066, and the intensity of poverty has reduced from 47% to 44%, thereby setting India on the path of achieving the Sustainable Development Goal of 1.2. of reducing multidimensional poverty by at least half, and this is just much ahead the stipulated time of 2030. It demonstrates the government's strategic focus on ensuring sustainable and equitable development and eradicating poverty by 2030, thereby adhering to the commitments of achieving the SDGs. A record of 13.5 crore people moved out of poverty, says the Niti Aayog's report from 2015 to 2019-21, as per the Niti Aayog's multidimensional poverty Poverty Index, a progressive review 2023 as it is called. The report was released by the Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog. Now, the national MPI measures simultaneous deprivations across three equally weighted dimensions of health, education and the standard of living, represented by 12 SDG aligned indicators, and these include nutrition, child and adolescent mortality, maternal health, years of schooling or school attendance, cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, electricity, housing, assets and bank account. Now, marked improvement is seen in all the 12 indicators, and this was the highlight of the recently released Niti Aayog report. What are the highlights? It says that 3.5 crore people escaped poverty or multidimensional poverty in 5 years, a steep decline in the multidimensional poor from 24.85% to 14.96% between 2015 and 2019. Rural areas saw the fastest decline in poverty from 32.59% to 19.28%. India is on the track of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals of 1.2, much ahead the 2030 deadline, and substantial improvements across all the 12 MPI indicators on ground. Uttar Pradesh has registered the highest decline in the number of poor with 3.43 crore, followed by Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. Improvements in nutrition, years of schooling, sanitation, cooking fuel played a significant role in bringing down of poverty. So whenever you write an answer of poverty, you have to touch upon these 12 indicators, which will improve your answer and also your essay as well. Apart from that, the issues in these 12 sectors, the steps taken by the government, and what are the improvements that are needed, and if possible you can add a little bit of data with regard to these 12 indicators as well. The government focused on improving the access to sanitation. We know the Swachh Bharat Mission program, nutrition, Poshan Abhiyan, midday meal scheme, etc., cooking fuel, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, financial inclusion, Jan Dhan Yojana and Aadhar seeding, drinking water, your Jal Abhiyan, and electricity with regard to Deen Dayal Upadhyay power program. So this led to significant advancements in all these areas. All the 12 parameters of the MPI have showed marked improvements, and this is a very important point for you to remember. Flagship programs like Poshan Abhiyan, Anemia Mukt Bharat have contributed to reducing deprivation in health. Ayushman Bharat is playing a very, very important role. You have your other disease specific programs also dealing with malaria, TB, etc. Initiatives like Swachh Bharat Mission, you have urban and rural, Jal Jeevan Mission, which aims to provide clean piped drinking water to all the rural habitations across the country. The impact of these efforts is significant, with a significant swift of 21.8 percentage point improvement in sanitation. Sanitation is a preventive measure for health, especially the provision of subsidized cooking fuel through Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana has positively transformed the lives with 14.6 percentage points improvement in your cooking fuel deprivations. Initiatives like your Saubhagya, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Samagra Shiksha also played a major role in significantly reducing multidimensional poverty in the country. Remarkable progress have been achieved through extremely low deprivation rates, especially for electricity. Access to bank accounts, drinking water reflects the government's unwavering commitment to improve the citizens' life and also a bright future for all, thereby doing away with poverty or deprivation in the country. Consistent implementation across the diverse sets of program initiatives have strong intelligages which have led to significant reduction in the deprivation across the multiple sectors, and this is what the report says. So what does the economic survey say? A recent economic survey, we are almost 6 months away to the next budget, and so this economic survey is definitely very important. It's the first economic survey of your Amrit Kal period. It says that the social sector expenditure increased to 21.03 lakh crore in financial year 2023 from just 9.1 lakh crore in financial year 2016. 41.5 crore people exited poverty between 2005 and 6 and 19 and 20. This is a major highlight. It says that Amrit Kal, where the government wants to achieve the next 25 years, which it wants to design to achieve many goals, not only economic but also social goals, and this era promises one where the economic growth was supported by social welfare, where India is committed to leave no one behind and ensure that the impact and the benefits of the growth and the progress reach all the diverse areas and expansive populace transcending innumerable cultures, languages, geographies, and constituting the real wealth of the country. The government spending on the social services has shown a rising trend since financial year 16, and this is one of the major highlights, with focus on many aspects of social well-being of citizens in the country. The share of the expenditure on the social services in the total expenditure of the government has been around 25% in 2018 to financial year 2020, and it increased to 26.6% in 2023. According to the economic survey, the social services expenditure witnessed an increase of 8.4 percentage points between 2021 and 20, and another 31.4% in 2022 over 2021, being the pandemic years which required an enhanced outlay, especially in health and education sectors. While the social expenditure outlay of the centre and the states was 9.15 lakh crore in 2015 and 16, it has steadily increased to 21.3 lakh crore in financial year 2023, and this is what the budget estimate says. Now, as per the economic survey, the share of health in the total expenditure of the social services has increased from 21% in financial year 19 to 26% in financial year 23. The 15th Finance Commission, which we should not forget, in its report has recommended that the public health expenditure of the union and the states should increase with a progressive manner to reach 2.5% of the GDP by 2025, and we are just 2 years away from it. In keeping with this goal, the central and the state budgets for health expenditure have reached 2.1% in financial year 2023 and 2.2% into financial year 22. This is about the estimates of the budget, against 1.6% in financial year 2021. There is Aadhar has been an essential tool for delivery of social sector services by both the central and the state government, covering almost 720 state direct benefit transfer schemes which are notified under the Aadhar Act of 2016. Various benefits like the direct benefit transfer, Aadhar enabled payment system, JAM, that is the Jan Aadhar, and the Mobile Trinity, One Nation, One Ration Card, co-win use for Aadhar for targeted delivery of financial services, subsidies and benefits has been doing a lot of change. As per the economic survey, 135.2 crore Aadhar enrollments have been generated. 75.3 crore residents have been linked with Aadhar, have linked their Aadhar cards with the ration card. They can avail the One Nation, One Ration Card. It is further stated that 27.9 crore residents linked Aadhar with cooking gas connection for direct LPG subsidy into their accounts. 75.4 bank accounts have linked their Aadhar, and more than 1500 crore transactions have taken place via the Aadhar enabled payment system, thereby furthering the goal of financial inclusion as well, apart from other social inclusion schemes as well. So this is bringing a drastic change with regard to poverty and how the government is taking forward the goal of achieving reducing multidimensional poverty by half just before 2000, even much before 2030. And with this estimates, it is proven that government can do much more than reducing the poverty by half, much more lesser by 2030. So these are the major issues that very recently made news, and you can keep track of all the schemes. And as I told you, a little bit of data with regard to impact and what is the changes will definitely enrich your answer and your essay as well. And tomorrow I shall see you with the next topic or a few more topics, and until then, it's very happy learning.